And we're back. Tisha here for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but just follow me. So, we open up this episode with Drew talking about her excitement of her upcoming music video. We see her in the kitchen with her daughter and some other lady. I don't know if it's the nanny or what, but we see her dancing. And while she's dancing, she's forgetting some of the moves. She then talks about her now what is a strange relationship with her sister and how they previously worked together, that her sister had been her manager for years before they fell out. It seems like part of the reason why they fell out had to do a lot with Ralph. She said that some statements were made where she said that Ralph is controlling along with some other what Drew labeled as hurtful things. And as a result, she has been banned from their home for now what is 4 years. So basically, Ralph does not see it for Allison because Allison said things that even we, the viewers have said in regards to how we see Ralph. I feel like something major had to have happened for it to be more than just she said that he was controlling. She said some accusations, some hurtful accusations were made. And I feel like for you to pick your man over your sister and drop your sister, that it had to be something major. You know what? No, I don't. I put in all caps. These women stay picking men over their family and friends. So it's no shocker that she picked Ralph over her sister. We then see Shereè talking about her clothing brand, She by Shereè, and how for the future, some of the designs that she wants to make, and she's adding baby clothes. I guess her grandbaby has inspired her, how she wants to replace dots with stars. Basically, she wants to add more to her line. Shereè is asked by one of the producers if she's made a profit, and she said not really, because she spent so much money on it. I don't understand what Shereè spent so much money on. You do not pay a whole bunch of money for the type of clothing that Shereè has on her website. I've seen it before in Chinatown. They sell it in bulk. I'm sure it's even cheaper when you go overseas to purchase these items. So for you to act like you spent so much money when we already know that I don't think you did. Based on the prices that I'm seeing, you should have made profit after the first couple of sales. Anytime you want $100 and something for a shirt and top, pants and athletic wear that you can get from some of these websites for under $30, and you broke the internet, you should have made a profit by now. For some reason, Shereè is calling Kandi a hater because Kandi had stated the obvious things that we all saw, which was her lack of inventory. So she wants to meet Kandi to talk. We see her shoot a text. Kandi responds and say, yeah, we can meet up. We then see Marlo talk about her nonprofit, Glam It Up, where I guess every Wednesday she has conversations with people who've dealt with the foster care system, or are not Wednesdays, Fridays, or who are in the foster care system. She throws events and things of that nature. And I would like to see more of this side of Marlo. We get so much of the fluff from Marlo and so much produced storylines that, to me, more of this is more what we want to see. Sonia comes over after she gets off the live and talks about her belt brand. Talks about her partnership with Belk and how they will be carrying her brand. Sonia then begins to advocate for Marlo again, saying that she wishes that she would allow the girls to see this side of her, the side that gets excited for people. and those things. And I just don't understand why Sanya, whatever her name is, she doesn't get it. She says that she feels like Kandi needs to say sorry to her and her sister. And Sanya basically says that the feelings that she had is valid. Marlo brings up how Kandi saying F those flowers is basically saying F you and F your family. Marlo, this is a good try, but let's be clear. Kandi said F those flowers because at this point, she's tired of you trying to make excuses for why you're behaving the way that you're behaving and why you're trying to make it seem like it's such a big deal that she did not send flowers to your family. You keep playing victim. You keep saying things about Kandi's establishments. You keep talking about Kandi and acting like what happened was to your nephew was Kandi's fault. So Kandi's fed up. And that's why she said what she said. We then finally get off that subject. We talk about an upcoming date that she's going to have. And she makes a statement that no one's been in between her legs for 4 years. She has only been on dates with William and Michael. And girl, you just like act like every and anything is about those boys. And I don't believe that it's been 4 years since you've been on a date. You've had some type of dealing with a man. The boys left you at one point. They have not been with you for 4 years at this point, because later on in your date, you're going to say you've been an auntie mom for 3 years. So I'm not buying that. We then see Shereè and Kandi meet up for a walking date. Shereè comes with a fur. Kandi comes to work out. Shereè said that Kandi talked about her business and the things that Kandi said hurt her business. Shereè says that she said that her website crashed and it didn't. Kandi said that she disagreed. If we can go on the website, it did not crash. It did not crash. When I went up there, there were barely any products. There were some outfits that looked like athletic wear with stars on it. And there was nothing that we saw on the fashion show or the runway. And at some point she put up that message basically trying to say that it crashed. But if you were able to put up a message, then you were able to do something with the website, in my opinion. She then asked if Kandi bought anything from the website, and Kandi said that she couldn't buy anything because when she went up there, there wasn't anything available for her to buy. And the launch was trash, Shereè. We're not going to sit here and act like it wasn't. She then makes a statement that she doesn't come to Kandi for music advice, and she doesn't need Kandi for fashion advice. She makes some excuse as to why all the items that we saw at the fashion show weren't on the website. She talks about how she's going to be doing different drops. At this point, it's been how long? And we still haven't seen these different drops. We still see the same gray, black, stars, mugs, whatever. It's just, it's not giving what you made it seem like it was going to give for you to be held at a higher standard. Once again, Kandi is being blamed for what others are saying. We all saw your Shein fashions. We all saw how overpriced they are. We all saw the website shut down. We all saw the beautiful fashion show, but none of the fashions that were at the show. We also saw the designer who stated that he was not paid, and until he got paid, he was not going to release those designs that he helped you create to go across the runway. So you saying that it's different drops and all that stuff, I don't buy it. We've heard other things, and if that man was lying, Shereè being who Shereè is, she would have sued him. Shereè is just reaching like Marlo. She claims that Kandi didn't support her, but I saw where online Kandi said to go to the website and to buy things shortly after you launched. So I don't understand how she did not support you. Once again, Kandi is being used as a storyline. the storyline with you and Martell isn't quite giving what you thought it would give. You and Martell don't even really seem believable. So let's aim for Kandi and let's try to make it seem like we have an issue with Kandi. Kandi brings up how if she felt this way, she doesn't understand why when she had the Gucci event, she didn't bring it up. And I don't understand it either. But according to her, Shereè says she didn't bring it up because she felt like they're friends and it's something that they could talk about one-on-one. Shereè brought up how she came to Kandi's restaurant and they ran out of food and she waited for 3 hours and she brought a large party. She said that her store tags, I think it is, something with a T, she bought something from there to support her, but you can only wash the item one time. They're made out of poor quality. And Kandi made a comment, well, at least you got it. Kandi says she sells other people's of stuff, merchandise. So if it was made poor quality, that's not on her. Kandi, it kind of is on you if it was made poor quality because you sell the item in the store. Test out your products before you sell them. And I'm going to call it what it is. I like you, Kandi. I respect you, Kandi, but we're not going to make excuses. If it's in your store and she's saying it's of poor quality, then fix it. She talks about how Kandi didn't pass inspection and all these other issues that we've already seen addressed on camera. We've seen it on the OLG, Kandi and the Gang or whatever. I feel like Shereè said that she doesn't bring up all these issues like how Kandi did. And the fact that you're mentioning it on camera now lets it be seen that you do say things. We're not going to sit here and act like everybody doesn't talk about everybody on this show. You've brought up Kandi numerous times, but it's okay. She even talked about the health rating. But once again, these are all things that we saw on Kandi and the Gang of issues that they had with the long line, with the poor score, with the coding issues, with them then fixing it and turning it around so they can pass inspection. These aren't things that we did not know. The argument was petty. Kandi says she didn't want to argue with Shereè. Shereè said that she never talked about her business. As I said already, we've seen it in confessionals that she's talked about her business, even more so now with the shooting and things like that when she sits down with Marlo. We not gonna act like that didn't happen. Kandi apologized, but girl, I wouldn't have apologized. See a quick clip of Kenya baking cookies with Brooklyn. Brooklyn eats the raw cookie dough. Kenya is nervous. I never was one to want to eat raw cookie dough. I don't like raw cookie dough. I don't. And then the thought about egg being in there, no thank you. We see Sonya and Ross and they talk about how they had sex and how they plan on having more sex to create this baby that we know that they're not really trying to create. We then see Kandi and Todd talking about the movie again. Todd mentions that for the lead role that he was thinking about Drew because when he sees this character, he sees Drew. Drew is an excellent actress. Kandi brings up how she likes the idea of Drew, but she doesn't know she necessarily wants to be in the script and play the other character because she doesn't want to be typecast. I get it. I get you not wanting to be typecast. We then see Drew is home waiting on her sister with her mother and the chef. She has a whole bunch of different oils and stuff like that for Allison. She wants Allison to feel comfortable. Allison is coming to the house and Ralph goes up to bed early to avoid Allison. A lot of the story is being left out and I don't like that we're getting such a surface level thing because if your sister has not been allowed to come in your house for 4 years by your man, what aren't you telling us? We then see them at the skating rink doing a bunch of different shots for her music video. Drew talks about missing her sister's help because her sister did a lot as a manager. Drew can't skate, but she's gonna do what she needs to get done. We see Ralph and Allison talk. They hug. She cries. She says she's proud of her sister. The mom cries too. saying that she's so happy to see her girls together, which makes me go back to, what are you guys leaving out? She's so happy to see her girls together. Makes it seem as if, have y'all not even been around each other in the 4 years? We already know she hasn't been to your home, but what else is there for this to be the situation? Just because she said some things about your husband that, in my opinion, might be a little true, because the same way she said he's controlling and things of that nature in the divorce decree, that's one of the things that Drew said. So it's interesting how this whole thing is going to play out. Marlo heads out for her date, and while en route, she talks to Sonya. Sonya tells her she looks good, titties are up. Marlo says she wants him to be rich and sexy. Sonya mentions being at Drew's shoot. Marlo feels a way about not being invited. She then calls Drew. Before she calls her, she lets us know that Drew is a fake B. Even though you're talking about Drew, and then you get on the phone with Drew and you're all, hey, beautiful, and hey, this and hey, that, you're just as fake. Drew tells her that she basically needs an apology. She doesn't like the way that she's been acting. She wants them to fix things, and she wants her to address things. And Marlo claims that she didn't know that Drew was upset. She says that Drew kind of got overly sensitive. She didn't think that what she said was a big thing. You got up in her face and you yelled at her and you towered over her, but you don't see why she would feel a way about that. Okay. When Drew continues to talk about how, she needs to do better, she hangs up the phone on her and then proceeds to talk about her disrespectfully, about how she's shaped like a box and different body things, and how she can't act, and how her wig is never right and it's lifting off of her head, and how he's probably looking at other men on the shoot. Marlo always takes it a little too far, and then you see people in the comments trying to take up for Marlo. Me personally, I don't get it. We see Marlo arrive complaining about the fact that her date is in a strip mall, but when she goes inside, she finds out that it's the man's restaurant. So you're talking junk about the chef who owns that restaurant. I'm assuming he owns it because we keep hearing it's his restaurant. Find out he's Jamaican. He's 39. He has kids. 15. Not a problem. 2 and 1. I'm more interested in finding out about that dynamic, because you have a 2 and a 1-year-old, and here you are out on a date. We find out that he's been locked up as well, and that he no longer messes with his children's mother or mothers. They seem to have a nice date. He did a good job. I actually enjoyed watching the date. I think they showed us more than we needed to see, but it was nice to see Marlo in this role. The episode didn't really do anything for me, if I'm being honest. Even the Kandi Shereè thing, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Shereè and Kandi's dynamic is very interesting to me, because I feel like Kandi is too forgiving of a lot of things. I actually wonder how Kandi feels now with some of the comments that Shereè has made regarding Kandi, because some of the things that Shereè has said on Twitter have been extremely offensive. Still alluding to her being a hoe and all those other things. But you want to talk about how what she says can be damaging to your brand when she took no accountability for the things that she says, which is why I don't understand why Kandi apologized. I don't feel like she deserved the apology, but Kandi chose to apologize, and that's on Kandi. Let me know your thoughts down below. How are we feeling about this season? You guys, I'm watching it and I feel like it might pick up a little bit more. There seems like there's so much more when it comes to Drew and her situation, especially since things are gonna turn the way that we currently know that they are. And I want to see how it all plays out. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really interested. I tend to interact more with people on Twitter than I do on YouTube. And I think I'm trying to continue with this YouTube thing just to see, where it goes. I got a son who only has 2 years left in high school. So, gotta figure something out. Until next time.